sell by chat for me is one of the most mind-blowing things when it comes to closing clients. Number one, it's easier. You don't have to dress up. You don't have to show up. Third is, I'm not really comfortable, especially when I was starting out with in terms of accent. I felt that bad accent or not westernized accent equals low rate. I had this mindset thing with the same thing. So what I wanted to do instead was, okay, what am I particularly better at in terms of communication? And it was writing.
All right, we're live. Hi everyone, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining me today for Weekends with Jan. This is actually an avenue for people to be heard with just like any other topic. I know everyone's busy with their lives, work, family, and all, school. And I just want to have like one day out of your busy week to talk about anything. That's why I put this up. And we will be featuring different guests or different experts in different topics or fields that we could also talk with and share experiences with. And today we have a very special guest. I have broadcasted him through the page already, and he is actually the founder of BottBott. It's a chatbot service that is offered to high-ticket entrepreneurs and different businesses all over the world, not just in the Philippines. He is also a contributing writer of Esquire Philippines. I hope I pronounced that right. And he's one of the idols and one of the coaches in the freelance movement tribe where I belong to. So I am very excited to introduce to you now Mr. Niel Reichl. Hi, Coach. How are you?
Very good. Happy Sunday. In fairness, after all the interviews, this is by far one of the best intros ever, and did it on the spot on. Good job. Okay, good job there.
Thank you so much, and thank you for being here. This is the pilot episode, so I'm really excited because I didn't plan anything, and you just jumped right in, and I'm really excited on what we will be talking about. So I want the audience right now to know first who you are, how you started, just a brief background before you become this expert in your field right now. So I want you to introduce yourself.
Most of the people who know me actually know me as a guy who's with messenger marketing and pasensya na yung karera ng mga. Okay. Next is people would also know me as they would be thinking that in this interview right now, what we would be talking about would be chatbots, messenger marketing, but it's totally something different. It's something that we do in our business that I'd like to share with everyone. So you were asking, what do I do? I run now an agency. It's focused on Facebook Messenger marketing. We have now started to combine automation by machine and automation by human into lead generation and increasing revenue for businesses. A few of our clients right now are multi-billion-dollar companies over here in Manila. We also have companies or clients that we service from the States, from the UK, and Australia. Pero before that, I was just this guy who was writing content, like Google ads at $1 per ad. That's how I started. $1 per ad.
When was this?
2016. 2016, and then started to jump into messenger marketing 2017. 2015, 2016, I was trying to do all sorts of things like niche marketing. Oh my God, I even entered the world of selling dating tips to
Dating tips?
Philippines. 200 plus episodes on a podcast.
Wow.
200 plus
Alam
episodes
mo
on a
na.
podcast. Only to decide na, okay, hindi pala pwede. Suglay pala. So
And
yun,
then,
brief
and what
background.
made you interested in this field? Like, if that was your background, what happened? How did you come up with, this decision of this is what I want to do now, and this is what I want to move forward to? So
People would be thinking the sexy answer is it was passion, it was purpose.
Sexy answer.
Pero it really is, di ba? It really is. The truth is, I stumbled upon it. And I'm just reading the book right now by Cal Newport. And he was talking about the interview with Steve Jobs during the commencement exercise. I don't know if it was Stanford ba or Harvard. Anyway, when he was asked, the interpretation by people were follow your passion.
Yeah.
Right? And then, only in the book, it was said that rule number 1, do not follow your passion. What Steve Jobs actually did, according to the author, Cal Newport, he said that it was after multiple tests, multiple attempts, small attempts at doing something that he came to the big thing. So, how I came on to messenger marketing, 200 plus trial and errors, probably, diba? Attempts.
Which is good, no? The trial and errors really help, no? Like what I'm doing now.
The only tested option talaga. It is the most viable option talaga. Trial and error and see what's working. Yun lang. Yeah, there's a smarter way lang talaga to do it.
That's good. That's good. And so far, I how can I explain it? This is by far the most successful that you've done, no, out of all your career.
I would like to say so, yes. Kasi since 2015, I've never had ano ba yung term? I've never had to go back to find a job again.
Why?
So it's always me. I never needed to go back and parang admit na, oh my God, I failed. I need to go back and get a job. Nothing wrong with getting a job, pero siguro lang it isn't for me. Okay. So yun, that's probably, and now, in fairness, we've grown. Now we now have a team, diba? A legit team who are on payroll. Hindi siya team na kung kailan lang may task. Again, nothing wrong, pero I could say na, okay, mukhang tuloy-tuloy na talaga. Sana magtuloy-tuloy. Although, the world still be stumbled. Daldal ko.
Congratulations, Coach. But no, that's
Thank
really
you.
good because not everyone knows like where and how you started. So it's really nice for us to know how everything started with you. But today, you gave us a topic that you want to discuss specifically, diba? How did you come up with this topic and why? Why did you want to discuss this topic with us right now?
I was doing this in the background for the longest time. Until I thought that it was something that nobody would really want to do, that no one is actually doing, until I saw this post inside the group, the Freelance Movement Tribe by Sir John Pagulayan. And then he said that he closed, if I'm not mistaken, 2 deals just by chat. And I was like, holy cow, someone else is doing it. People were reacting to it. They liked it. They really loved it. I said, okay, I'm not to take away the thunder from the guy, Arvin Cortez. I immediately approached him, sent him, this is something that I would love to talk about this. Thank you for putting this out, and I'll be talking about it. And mukhang people really like it, so let's see. I prepared screenshots just to prove it. Okay.
That's very good po. Sige. I will, do you want to start with the slides now or do you want to explain muna more about the topic? Okay. Sige,
a little explanation lang. Sell by chat, for me, is one of the most mind-blowing things when it comes to closing clients. Number 1, it's easier. You don't have to dress up. You don't have to show up. Third is, I'm not really comfortable, especially when I was starting out with, in terms of accent. I felt that bad accent or not Westernized accent equals low rate. I had this mindset thing, this same thing. So What I wanted to do instead was, okay, what am I particularly better at in terms of communication? And it was writing. So I used chat. And I've closed, the highest that I've closed would be several 4,000 USD deals
Wow.
with local clients.
Local clients. Okay. All right.
Local clients. And then I said, maybe these were just one-off, that I couldn't really do it with international clients. Now we're closing $5,000 deals with US clients, right? So just through chat, okay? Just through chat. Again, this is not rocket science. It still is selling, right? It still is selling, but let the slide talk for itself na lang.
All right, no problem. Sige po, fire away. Show us your screen. Let's see how this works.
Share screen, application.
There you go. All right. Yes.
All right. So the title of the keynote is How to Sell Your Services Without Getting on the Phone, called Sell by Chat. And I'm not selling how to sell by chat. I am sharing with you what we're actually doing in terms of selling our services, whether it was premium services, which is coaching, which is full-on chatbot build, or really simple, basic $100, $200 lead generation services. So it crosses multitudes. Okay. So let's check. All right. So quick background lang muna. If for those of you who are going to ask, please, you can follow me na lang on Facebook, and I'll do a special announcement later. Okay? And so I just put it out there na para people can check out in case whatever stuff I have that's going to show up on my timeline. So if you can put in see first, that would be the most ideal. If you can see, first screenshot here, this was the most recent one, April 11, 2020, 8:21 p.m. I'm going to show you a conversation that happened. This was the basic stuff that we sent. It's a compliment. And I said, I know it's late, but appreciation knows no time. Awesome content you have. But let me just cite an example for my agency. So screenshot number one is just a basic compliment after being accepted as a friend. Before step one is sending a friend request. Step two, wait for the reply. If you noticed earlier, April 11, 8:21 p.m., this is where people are very open to communicating. People don't really see it as business-like with emails, and see how fast he responded, 9:44 p.m. He replied, epic stuff. Let me know if I can help and keep me posted. Again, there was no pitch. Compliment again. And then I started to show interest. I sent a screenshot of a blog post that they wrote. And then I started to start a conversation. I hope you don't mind me asking if it was you who wrote this. I mean, this is really good. Right? It was still a compliment, pero I wanted to know more. I was starting a conversation. Screenshot number 3. He replies, I write the bones and my copywriter did the rest. I said, fantastic job. Just spitballing an idea and of course asking your permission if it does make sense. Do you? And then the question, and then ask if they're a good fit for your course. This guy is selling a course. The course is a little below 10,000 USD. And he replies, what do you mean? Where?
Wow.
Like I'm doing now. So I said, you see, the conversation is now two-way. It's not just one way, right? It's two-way. And then you come up with the value bomb. You put out this awesome thing. I should have. And then we do this to some extent. And then he says, are you fishing for a job? And then last slide is conversation started April 16. We closed the deal April 30. This is most likely, we could probably make $200 per book call. We could probably make hopefully around 5,000 USD to 10,000 USD with this one particular client. And so why did we start off muna with this? I wanted to show muna that it is working. It is not theory, but it's something that we apply in our agency. So time travel to me back before. I thought selling was about persuasion, influencing, budol-budol, and yung lahat ng gagawin mo, kulang na lang saksakin mo sa tagiliran para ibigay niyo yung pera. And that's how bad I thought. selling was. I also thought it was about endless compliments, rapport building, which ended up in me being offered their services instead. And again, I don't blame them because I
Mm.
was given false hope na, okay, tell me more, tell me more, tell me more. And
Yep.
then it was like, to their ears, they were thinking na, interesado siya sa offer ko. Di ba?
Mhm.
Which I hope ako lang yung ganitong nakaranas. Ikaw, Jan, did you experience this before?
Yes, 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 yes. Many times.
Okay, many times. Okay, so now, in this keynote, there are a lot of slides in here, but I'll try to go as fast as possible. And for you to have,
Take
for
your
those
time.
of you watching, to take away and get the results from this. Thank you. So number one is, our rule is, if you're watching this on replay or in the future, our rule, I want you to raise your hand, right hand, and say, ask before you pitch.
Ask
Okay?
before I
Ask
pitch.
before you pitch. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. We believe in this. Not everyone is a good fit for our product, for our services. And before I go to the next slide, sales, according to my new client, is this: sharing a life-enhancing solution. Whether that's a shampoo bottle or whether it's a $50,000 program, sales is all about sharing a life-enhancing solution. You have to find the person who needs this. It's not about forcing this product or service that you have upon them. However, everyone we know should know what we do. It has to be really obvious on our profiles, on our timelines, on our social media ad sets, what we actually do. And how do we do it? The thing that we do is through conversations. There's no complex funnel. There's no Facebook ads. The only thing that we have is conversations, human to human. How most people actually do it. Rambo and Bahala na Gang, combined forces. If you don't know Rambo, you haven't been in the 80s. And if you don't know
Millennial
Bahala na Gang, ang nangyayari is send to all. Ratatatatatatatat, di ba?
Oo,
Kahit
sento.
sino. Example ko lang is this. Hi, Sir Niel Reichl. Morning. I am a salesperson, Ayala Properties, and we have pre-selling, blah, 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 occupancy units. It's very different from the screenshot I showed earlier, wherein we paid a compliment.
Sobrang
Another
different.
one, sneaky attack. Yung
Naalala ko.
sibling ka. Sibling ka, biglang, eto siya, oh. Hello, musta? By the way, asa blank na pala ako as financial advisor.
Oh my God, ang dami ko natatanggap na ganitong script.
Sakit, di ba? Okay. I really came prepared for this, Jan, because I know this is has a lot of pressure on you. This is the first episode, and I want to make sure that this is really impactful for everyone who's going to watch this. Diba?
Yes.
Pero this is true, diba?
Mm-mm.
What I found talaga most effective is finding a reason talaga to connect genuinely.
True.
Okay? Finding a reason to connect genuinely. Find a reason to start a conversation. After all, selling is a conversation with a purpose. Your
True.
purpose, my purpose, could be to close a sale, right? But I know that in order for me to close a sale, I have to fill a gap that someone wants to pay, a gap that someone wants to get filled in the exchange of money, right? Or it could be barter, it could be a testimonial, it could be something else. But there's an exchange. Again, clearly defined purpose. So even if you do rapport building, you know you have a purpose, and that purpose is to find if that person has a gap. Okay, during my time, so I'm turning 39 this year. What the experts, the gurus have said is show interest in our prospects. And this is true enough until now, which is rapport building. Yun nga lang, the problem lang with rapport building is that it sounds really awkward when you put in the by the way. Parang you do the dance, di ba? And then you move on with the next step. Parang awkward.
Parang laging may kailangan sa'yo after the kamustahan. Parang ganun yung nangyayari.
And there's nothing wrong to put the intention first before the kumusta.
Correct.
Diba?
Correct.
Pero this time, we're doing it way faster. Kasi, pero hindi pa rin salesy. So let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, you always give them the option to say no.
Nabasa ko
You
to.
always give them the option. So, nabasa mo to?
Is this from a book?
I don't know. I felt so proud na I invented it. Yung pala hindi ako yung una nagsabi. Diba? So, okay. Scenario lang. Okay. So, scenario lang. Si Jan is looking for a guest to feature on her Facebook Live, right? Sabi na, kunyari lang wala dito si Jan. And then sabi niya, gusto ko makausap si influencer. Big time talagang influencer. So, influencer person. Sabi ni Jan, I need to get in touch with person, influencer, to be on my podcast. So, when Jan goes to this person, since it's cold, she pays a compliment. Now, what if the influencer is a friend na pala ni Jan? Does Jan go to the person and say na, kumusta, blah, 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 build rapport, and by the way, invite kita? Or could Jan go straight to the point na lang, only to find out if it's a no, ha? What if ang ginawa na lang ni Jan was, go to influencer friend is, meron akong show ngayon and I'm looking for guests who are this, this, and this. You fit this role perfectly. Pwede ka ba? Again, pwede ka ba? The option to say no is there. And then you customize it na I'm looking for this specific person, ikaw mismo yun. Pwede ka ba? It's a lot easier. You get an answer faster. Diba? You get a decision right away. And the experience naman on the influencer friend is that it was just a normal conversation. There wasn't a pitch. There wasn't hard sell. There wasn't forcing a decision. Okay. The success talaga in selling, for me, is by making the conversation conversational. It's not one way. The success in selling, for me, is making the conversation conversational and comfortable. Walang awkward na is typing, not typing. Again, this is even if it's face-to-face, it's about making it conversational and comfortable. And we don't want our prospects to feel that they can say no, ultimately leading to, Kuya, wag po. Ayoko na. Safe zone. Next time na lang. Usap pa kami mag-asawa. Busy pa ako. Sige, check ko. Balitaan kita. Kasi they could not say no. This is their polite way of saying no. Ako naman noon, sorry, I have the term. Follow up ako ng follow up. O ano, okay na ba? Kasi, sabi sa akin, hanggat hindi nag-no, di ba?
Tuloy mo lang.
Tuloy mo lang. Sabi ko, may pag-asa pa ako. Pero I didn't give them pala the option to say no upfront. Di ba? Okay. So, sabi ko nga, the success in selling is making the conversation conversational and comfortable, whether it's face-to-face, whether it's on the phone, whether it's chat. So, what we want in every conversation with a purpose, which is selling, is we want a decision. And a decision is either it's a yes, it's a not now, or a no. Ultimately, regardless of the answer, you have built a relationship. Na, positive, okay lang. You still pay the compliment. You were still interested in the person. You built a genuine relationship. But all in all, what we want to live, again, sabi ko nga, is this, a positive experience. More people knowing what we do. Ito, walang palya to. The fact that you went into a selling conversation, they would know what you do. And second is to become top of mind for your chosen skill, product, service, or expertise.
Yes.
So, balik ko lang ulit. Himayin ko na lang. Number 1, compliment. You have a specific, in our agency, we started off with lead generation. Now, we're per person generation. Per person prospecting na kami. Ganun kami ka-specific ngayon. And again, we started off muna na hindi pa namin masyadong alam until we found out it. So ngayon, on your case, or kung sino man nanonood dito sa picture, kung ang services niya is VA services, kung ang services niya is copywriting, you build a list of 100 people, 200 people, 500 people. Ideally, it's 500 people. Kasi imposible hindi ka magkaroon ng kliyente. Bawal ang tamad, especially during this time. Send off a compliment. You can do 20 a day. Okay, do not do copy-paste. Type it down. Put in hyper-specific compliments, like the blurred part. So I know it's late, but appreciation knows. What I said below, awesome content you have, and it's really eye-opening. That still is generic. That you can send to everyone. But I wrote down, I want to go on and on and on, but I don't want to bore you to death. But let me just cite an example. For my VA agency, the blank can now turn us from blank to blank. So that was hyper-specific. And ultimately, all the thing that you want is a reply. Para ka lang kumatok sa pinto. Pag maganda yung katok mo, isasagot. Pero pag ang katok mo, may bebenta ako. Hindi ka sasagutin niya. Epic stuff, let me know if I can help and keep me posted. And normally, the Niel before, pag sinabing let me know if I can help, nako, yes, you can actually help me. This is blah, 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 blah.
Diretso ka agad. It's a pitch.
Hindi. Tama, diretso agad. Pero tayo hindi. Relax muna. Kalma lang. Kung isa lang ang ginaganito mo, kung isa lang ang kinoconnect mo for 1 month, talagang wala kang choice. Tapos alam mong may bills ka and everything, obligations. Wala kang choice. You would pounce on it. Pero if you're doing this on scale, 200 people a month, 20 people per day, wow. And then, compliment again, start showing interest. So this is where you start a conversation, specific blog post. I hope you don't mind me asking who wrote it. I mean, this is really, really good. The one thing na sinabi namin dito, this is really, really good. It is really good. It could sound like a generic template, pero when we sent the link to that blog post, it became hyper-specific pa rin. Right?
Correct.
Tapos, I write the bones. Again, more interest. And then we have this. If you notice lang, the nuance says, fantastic job, sabi, just spitballing an idea and of course, asking your permission if it does make sense. You don't want to come into the scene parang know it all. Na dapat ito ginawa mo. Ito yung mali mo dito eh. Ito dapat ginawa mo.
Inunahan mo no?
Oo, di ba? So ito, paalam ka muna. Courtesy actually is very rare nowadays. Just the fact that you're courteous, you will stand out again. That makes you very different. So, asking permission if it does make sense. Do you? And then, syempre, sorry for privacy and we really dug into the research, we had to blur it. And then we started it because this is our offer. And then if they're a good fit for your course. A question answerable by yes or no. But he didn't get it right away, pero he was becoming interested. And then we sent this value bomb. And then reaction was, are you fishing for a job? Sabi niya, are you fishing for a job? Now, April 30, we closed the deal April 30. I don't know if I got screenshot of it. Ayun, meron. It's highlighted 3:36 p.m. Deal. So, if you have any questions at all, you can send me an email, neil@bottbott.co. That's the name of our agency. Again, this is something that we do in our agency that is not really selling services na ganito. We're more of a messenger marketing company, chatbots and human automation. That's what we're doing. We're not really into selling this as a course. We just want to see other people get the same results as well. So you can also check me on Facebook. You can see me and then add me as C first. So
nice. Yes.
Galing. I timed it. Galing.
I mean, maliban po dun sa post, when you saw it sa post sa tribe, what do you think was does it really happen all the time? Like, I know you mentioned earlier sa slides that normally this is what people do when they want to sell. But why do you think this is more important now during this time?
People right now, the situation is, there's a lot of desperate air right now.
Yeah.
People are scrambling to get a job. People are lowballing other people because they know that there's a huge spike in demand for jobs.
Correct.
And there's a huge inventory of people who can do the job. So, in demand. I think this is really important, doing it lalo na, because it makes you stand out differently. You can make more with less clients because you get better clients as well. And third is, moving forward, diba? If everyone zigs and you zag, diba? Kumbaga lang ha. It's like now you have the cash when everybody is selling. Diba? And you can buy property, you can buy assets at a very low price. You can buy stocks at a very low price.
True.
Right now, people are desperate. People are scrambling. People are dog eat dog for jobs right now. So if you position yourself as, wait, I am sharing a life-enhancing solution. Is this a good fit for you? Yes or no? Diba? That makes you stand out agad from the rest. It might, it might, it might get you clients the first 10 times, but it for sure gets you top of mind 10 times,
True.
10 different people. Diba?
But do you think is it important that before someone um, messages a person, does that person have to have content put out there first before we could, send this customized messages like what you did sa screenshots?
Okay. Let's put the scenario first. The person who has the content or does not have the content is the one reaching out ba? Or are we talking about the person that we're trying to reach out to? Do they have content pa or not?
The person you're trying to reach out, if they have to have content first before you can talk to them?
Okay, good point. Ideally, what we want sana talaga to make it easier on us, for us, is we want people that we're targeting to have content first. Not necessarily that they wrote, that they published, but they could be featured on Forbes. They could be featured on Inc. And then they could be, I mean, like this interview. And then one tip is, hi Niel Reichl, I watched this specific interview of yours on a Sunday afternoon. I know my wife was almost about to kill me because I shouldn't be doing work stuff, but at minute 28.12, you said this, and I said it's well worth it. Diba? And this is how it changed me. So hyper specific again.
Really good.
It's not content that they published, diba? But the content that they get featured in.
That's good.
So,
That's
it could
And-
even be some, halimbawa, they commented on someone else's post, diba?
Mhm.
And then you find that. Again, all you have to do is search.
Yeah, and also find some common ground, no, coach? Like, because you will not be able to have a conversation with someone if you don't have a common ground, right? If you don't have like that, if I saw you from an interview and then this is what you said and it resonates with me. So if you don't have a common ground with that person, you cannot push through with any conversation at all.
It would be hard, honestly, but if you're a wide reader, yeah. If you are up to date with the current events, a wide reader, someone who has a lot of experience, it could not be something that you could relate, but you could say to this extent. My friend is in the exact situation. What I did, what you said in that interview, I told my friend about that, and here's what happened. But then again, there's common ground pa rin. There's common ground pa rin. Pero you have to be intentional lang talaga to make something in common, di ba?
And sometimes it's not sometimes it will be more helpful if at the back of your mind your intention is not to sell, no, but just to get to know that person first to start
Yes.
with.
Yes. Pero we still have our number one intention talaga is to sell. We still have we change lang the perspective on it. Our perspective, my perspective before on selling was, give me the money, I'll give you the service. That was my perspective on selling. Now we changed it into sharing a life enhancing solution, which was taught by my current client. And then it all made sense that it's not enough that you have interest in the person alone. Okay?
True.
You have to have the intention of, number one, getting asked, what is it that you do?
True.
That's the key thing, right? But however, what if they don't ask what it is that you do? So you have second, you have really obviously stated it on your timeline, on your Facebook profile, whatever. Because number one, they're going to go ahead and check out who is this guy.
Yes.
Right? And then third is find specific gaps in the conversation after you've known them and then ask permission. Is this something that you think would be helpful for you? Can this actually be a solution for you? Which is a service that you provide. Okay. You do not provide mind-blowing, amazing stuff, epic post, epic content, that has nothing to do with your service.
Correct. And this is also
So,
not applicable, I mean, sorry po to interrupt, but this is also applicable to any type of jobs, no? Not just for freelancers, not just for service people. I mean, this kind of analogy applies to anyone who wants to give and sell or something. Tama ba?
I would agree. Example lang, let's say car salesman, di ba? I'm selling top of the line Montero, GT na 2020 model or 2021 model, gano'n. So, I define muna who is it that I want to call on to reach out to. This is your expertise, I know, with LinkedIn, di ba? You go find all the doctors on LinkedIn probably have posted the last 30 days. That means they're active on social media. Diba? And then you start reaching out. Diba? Hi, doctor. Would love to connect. As basic as that. Diba? Would love to connect. Or you can even do a hyper-specific na compliment. Kasi they posted in the last 30 days, there is something for you to compliment them on. Diba? There's something for you to compliment them. And then you just want a reaction. And then, syempre, what happens is they check your profile. Who is Niel Reichl? He sells top of the line Montero GT 2020s to doctors. Parang, wait, sige nga. Either it's not a good fit.
Diba? Parang, it's either ako to, diba? Or not. Diba?
Oo. Yun lang talaga siya. Or, loko to pero I could not, sabi ni doctor, loko to lokan lang ako nito pero you're not opening your mouth. You're not saying anything about your pitch. Diba? So parang siya, reciprocity-wise, okay naman pala to Diba? Okay naman pala to.
And it's parang
so, yes, it fits almost anything.
It's parang human nature, coach. When you compliment someone, automatically, it's human nature, mapa-flatter yan no? That's why it's really nice to start with something that would be positive for them or positive about them.
Yes,
that's
true.
Nice. Yeah. No, I mean, we were trying to say this because not everyone knows na yun pala yung reason behind the strategy that we are sharing here.
And find and check this stuff. It doesn't have to be really good that you're at your service that on the service that you're providing, diba? Because even if you're really good at the service you provide, if people don't know about it, diba, it will really be hard to sell. Pero there are people who have crappy products, crappy services, pero really good at selling. And they're selling a whole lot of it, diba? So, it's all about para sa akin, sharing a life-enhancing solution.
Galing.
Thank you.
I mean, this is timely for me because, I mean, especially now, as you said earlier, the situation we have calls for desperate measures for some people. Na they just wanted to have a tangible cash flow during this time. And the only thing they can think of is how can they sell something and have money now.
How can I get money now? How can I get money now?
Yeah, and then puro ganun na lang And then lumalabas siya.
Or there's the other group. Pero there's the other group also. There's the other group of persons who are value. Value. But they don't know how to lead the conversation into a sale.
Yeah. That's
true. I mean, and then there's the third one who's really smart. I know value will let me talk about my offer. Tingin ko lang. That's what I think.
What was the parang with your agency so far? What was the biggest, not necessarily challenge? What was the biggest parang or the most difficult stage where you attempted to sell something because your target is a high ticket market, right? And it's not really easy to get those people in. So what was that most difficult time when you feel like you've done everything and then hindi mo talaga siya makuha? Like, was there a time? And how did you...
Partly was when I was trying to do the connecting all by myself. Because
Okay.
I thought that the genuine connection, the hyper-specific commenting, the delightful interruptions that we would call
Mm-hmm.
can only come from me. That's what I thought. That's what I would thought. So again, same with almost any other agency, owner is the bottleneck. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Until until I finally let go, diba? And then the team pull. And then what happened is that we started to not just focus on super high ticket. We were also now accepting uh, starters, diba? And the point of the starters was one could help us with payroll, diba? Number two, being very transparent about it lang. Number two, these people who are starters may be starters now, but later on they can be high ticket eventually.
They
And
can
they're going
both.
to spread the word about us. Third is they may be starters now, but they have connections to the high ticket.
Yeah.
So having to accept the fact that we're going to start taking in lower and lower paying clients was medyo tough. Pero when we found out that this this market, diba, of lower paying clients, diba, there was a certain group of them na not really demanding. And then on my end, I could really let go of the execution,
Mm-hmm.
diba? Kasi everything was detailed down na. It became a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
And taking in clients was becoming more ano ba, seamless na. Yun yung sigurong term. So every week the goal was to get at least 2 clients. So now we're hoping to pump it up to 5 kahit pabarya-barya lang, 'di ba? I mean, you can never tell baka they're just putting in trial. Yun yung experience namin. And then baka naman pala they're not a good fit. Pero at least low risk on both ends.
Correct.
At least we found out soon as agad. Yung tipong gano'n.
When did you start this, Coach? Yung itong aspect of focusing on the real conversations instead of just the chat itself, the chat botting. Kasi it's different, no? The automation is way different than this. It's a different service. So when did you start this focus?
The selling by chat actually was happening siguro 2015 pa lang. 2015, when I was getting people to guest on my podcast. I was, okay, sending compliments. Siguro the unfair part lang talaga of all of this is that I have years of sales experience from multinational companies, GSK, J&J, where we had to undergo grueling training talaga. And then, at this time, 2020, when this happened with COVID, right, we were thinking, okay, wait, people aren't really buying $10,000 services right now or hiring at 3,000 retainers on the spot, on the fly. They wanted, okay, let's test this first. But then again, our services wouldn't really work. The full chatbot thing wouldn't really work on 1 month trial. Okay. We would need at least a 6 months runway in order for us to prove that it was worth it. Okay, so what could we do instead? Okay, so you remember I mentioned about machine automation. Yes. Now we have human automation, and then we showed examples. Look, we never miss greetings. And then our clients were like, "Holy cow, that's really awesome that I would not miss greeting anyone on their birthdays because of human automation."
Yes.
And people were really happy. I mean, their Facebook friends were really happy that they were greeted after 4 years, the last time that they were greeted. Client man is really happy because he wakes up to just reading on his inbox. Wow, thank you for the greeting. Really appreciate it. Right? Human automation. And then we started loving it. Ah, okay. So this was really COVID, if you'd see, is bad for many businesses, but it's also a seed of opportunity for many other businesses.
True.
Again, it's perspective. Perspective talaga siya.
Nice. Those are
Thank you.
Just my question. Wala naman po ako masyado ng ibang question. Anything else you want to add? If you could flash again your links.
Okay.
Paano ba yun?
Let me show lang, share screen. Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to learn more about what it is that we do, share screen. Share screen and keynote. Yeah. You can reach me at niel@bottbott.co. But best way is see me on Facebook on my timeline. Add me to your list of key first people. That's the best place to go talaga right now. When I saw that post inside the tribe about selling by chat, I was like, sobrang excited talaga na parang, okay, hindi lang pala ako gumagawa nito. So there are many other people who are doing it. It was a validation. I'm now thinking, could we build a community kaya around it? Could we start sharing more of our insider stuff that we're doing? Mga tipo ganon.
Actually, it's a good idea, no? Maybe we could do that sometime.
Maybe.
Yeah, kasi there are people who really struggle in conversations. As far as conversations go, no? Kaya ang ganda rin ng topic is because nga hindi lahat or nahirapan or nahihiya mag-rapport, mag-continue ng conversation after the hi, hello. How are you feeling? How are you doing? Napuputol na sila hanggang doon. Nasa stuck na sila doon. No?
Totoo. Rapport talaga is either the end all for others, pero it could also be something na it's your secret ninja weapon, diba? When it comes to starting conversations. Siguro one thing na talagang tingin ko could help is with rapport, it gives you permission to watch Netflix. With rapport, it gives you permission to be up to date on current events, but not exage. Kung baga touches lang. When you start, hey, have you watched the latest on Netflix? Halimbawa, Ozark ba? No, I haven't, but I saw it on my list of recommendations on Netflix. How was it? Diba? Kahit yun lang ang masabi mo, and then they'll start talking about Ozark, blah, blah, blah. Ganyan. Diba? And then ikaw naman, okay, dami ko na napulot dito. May conversation, may common ground. Like you mentioned kanina, may common ground. Ozark, alam mo na nasa Netflix siya. Diba? Rapport, networking, prospecting gives you permission to reach out to more people, have fun, just talk. Diba? Just talk. Enjoy what it is that you're doing. Take away much of the pressure. Read a fictional book. Watch motivational video on YouTube. Kung ano man ang trip mo. Prospecting, rapport building, that is siguro the main and those are the results or results that it will give you. Pwede mong gawin itong mga bagay-bagay na to. So yun ang aking takeaway para.
Grabe, ang dami. Ang dami.
Sabi ko, excited ako eh.
Oo, I mean, I think we have to build that community, no? To help. Kasi talagang hindi lahat nahihiya. But yung iba talaga, or majority, yun ang tanong din sa akin eh. How will I continue this conversation? Kasi nga, normally what happens is they just stop on one particular topic and then they don't know how to switch it anymore into their own selling strategy. So, I don't know. Gagawin ba natin?
I'll let you know pag ginawa yung community. I'll have you one of the first people to announce it. It's something na sobra akong excited about. Siguro nga with years of sales experience, years of different industries, pharma, real estate, tayo ng restaurant, nagbenta ng ice candy, ng lollipop, chatbot services, VA services, lead gen, yun talaga, suma total talaga. It's conversation with a purpose, learning, and becoming interested in the other person without forgetting what it is that you have in mind before the conversation started. Never forget the purpose. Okay. Sometimes you have to put the purpose away muna, pero you don't forget it. Kasi it's really awkward. By the way nga, pala yung gano'n, isa pang gano'n, diba? Set aside mo lang muna siya dyan. Okay, kasi nakalagay dito. likod mo, may malaking purpose dito. Ito yung ginagawa ko. And then let them ask you. Diba? Pero hindi mo kailangang i-force. So, yun lang. Kaya sinusundo na ako ng bulilit ko.
Sige, sige. Thank you so much, Coach, for sharing. Hi! Hi! Nice to meet you.
Hi, Tita.
Hi!
Okay. Thank you. Thank you,
so
guys.
much, Coach. Have a good night. Have a good day. Thank you for being here.
Hi. Sige, sige. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye po. All right. So that ends our very first episode for Weekends with Jan. Hopefully by next week, you get to join me again for another topic. I'm not sure what it is yet, so I'll be announcing it on the page. And thank you so much for joining me today. Have a good Sunday, guys. Bye.